What's up, everybody, and welcome to Pizza and Pixels, the show where JP and I order a pizza and talk about video games until that pizza shows up. And it goes live every Saturday on youtube.com/HexxedPhenom or on podcast services around the globe. Places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, really any podcast service of your choosing. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, Josh, a.k.a. HexxedPhenom, a.k.a. the Sony Jabroni. And joining me is my co-host, the Abstract Rocker, JP. JP, how you doing, man?
Oh man, it's going pretty good. I got sushi for two, but it really was sushi for you. So I'm feeling pretty good. Just had to get tire changed and ready to talk about some gaming news.
Hell yeah, man. Well, of course, the fact that, I am called the Sony Jabroni sure makes today's topic interesting. We're going to be talking about is PlayStation anti-consumer? And yeah, that's going to be pretty much the topic for the entirety of today's episode. But with that being said, before we get into it, I want to remind you guys that all summer long, we are raising money for Extra Life, which is a charity that donates all of its earnings to Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And we are raising money for our local hospital, which is Penn State Children's Hospital in Hershey, Pennsylvania. It's a cause very near and dear to my heart, specifically because my father passed away from cancer 17 years ago. And, of course, with the pandemic going on, they could really use our help now more than ever, especially with, needing to buy masks, nebulizers, all those other things on top of the, things that they need on a normal basis. So if you guys would like to, please consider donating. The links will be down in the description. The first one on top will be your direct donation link. It'll take you right to our fundraising page, or well, the fundraising page is in my name. So my fundraising page, I guess. It'll take you right there. You just click on the donate button. It'll, just enter the amount you want to donate, your card information or whatever. You could also use PayPal. And to clear up some things, because it was a problem that we were having on stream the other night trying to figure out. If you are donating outside of the US and Canada, the site will automatically convert your payment from whatever your currency is. So
at least it converts it, right?
Yeah. So if that is a concern that you had, then don't worry about it. It'll be automatically converted, and the correct amount of money will be billed to you, and we'll also get the correct amount of money coming to charity. So
for the kids.
Exactly, for the kids. And then the second link is going to be for t-shirts. I'm not wearing mine right now. I'll put a picture up on screen, but they're available in a bunch of different sizes, cuts, colors. We got kid sizes, so you can outfit the whole family and help the kids at the same time. And we even got them in tank tops so you could stay cool all summer long. Because I don't know how it's been, elsewhere in the world, but up here in the northeastern United States, things have been hot and muggy for most of the summer. Except, actually, today it's been raining almost all day, so it's not too bad. But yeah, most days have been hot, muggy, and humid. So those tank tops could definitely help out. And all proceeds from those sales will go towards our goal of raising $1,000 for the kids. And one last thing about Extra Life before we get into it. Remember, if we raise $500 for the kids before the end of the summer, I will be cutting my hair live on stream.
Right on stream.
Yep, this thing's getting out of control. So
It's getting out of control. And there's the $1,000 bonus.
Yes, exactly. If we raise $1,000, I will be dyeing my hair green, and not just any color green, like as close as I can get it to my YouTube logo, and of course on the video version, which is roughly about the same color as the background you're seeing right now, thanks to GP's beautiful, beautiful art. But yeah, we're gonna try to get as close as we can to like a lime green. So, and that'll also be either on stream or recorded, whichever works better for that. Because I don't know, I want to get it dyed professionally so that I don't accidentally make myself go bald or something. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. But either way, you guys will get to see it. And so if you want to see that, please help us raise $1,000 for the kids. But with that out of the way, JP, we are here to answer the question, in our opinion, is PlayStation anti-consumer? And you might be thinking, where is this coming from? Where does this question come from? Well, if you guys haven't been paying attention to the gaming news this past week, basically two things have popped up this week that people are really, really concerned about. And I think rightfully so, depending on the way you look at it. So we're just gonna take the time to sit here and talk about it and give you our opinions. So we will start with, I guess, with the Spider-Man controversy. So on August 3rd, which I think was Monday or Tuesday, on the PlayStation blog, we have Spider-Man coming to Marvel's Avengers exclusively on PlayStation. So the Marvel Avengers game is getting Spider-Man as a post-launch hero in 2021. Earth's Mightiest Heroes gets a helping hand from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man in 2021. This one's from Jeff Adams, the Associate Art Director at Crystal Dynamics. Every once in a while, life presents you with a moment where your pursuits and your passions converge. Today is one such moment for me because I get to be the first to announce that our own Crystal Dynamics take on Spider-Man is coming up, or is teaming up with Ms. Marvel, Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, and Black Widow of Marvel's Avengers. This is so personal for me because I cannot remember a time when I didn't love Marvel. And this basically goes on about the art director's, love for Spider-Man. Like, honestly, like, this doesn't tell you much information about the game. It's basically just him saying how much he loves Spider-Man, which I appreciate it, but I mean, that's not what we're really talking about. So if you guys want to read the full article, we'll have it linked. We'll have it linked down there.
Spider-Man.
They're basically just saying, when Spider-Man does take on evildoers in Avengers, he'll do so fluidly with his own signature flair, and we also have enhanced customization options that we've created for Marvel's Avengers. Just like the other heroes, you'll get to use unique skill trees. An impressive suite of iconic abilities and attacks will be at your disposal, and you get to decide which gadgets and skills you wish to upgrade. Yeah, I mean, honestly, most of this information is irrelevant to what we're talking about. But, so basically, long story short, you don't really need to read through the article. It's just talking about Spider-Man is coming to Marvel's Avengers exclusively on PS4 and PS5. And keep in mind, the full game of Avengers comes to PlayStation 4, 5, PC, Xbox One, and Series X. So you're essentially locking a portion of the post-launch content out to 2/3 of the player base, basically.
Yep. I mean, it's nothing really that we haven't seen before with the Call of Duty franchise, so I really see no problem, because
well, I mean,
it's just like a shit kind of moment. But I don't know. It's just I wish it would be for everybody, just because I think we're way past the console exclusivity shit. But
I think there's still room for,
money
personally, like, yeah, it's definitely money, obviously.
It's all money. It's all money. So it's crazy.
For me, I think there's still room for, like, console-exclusive games. But when it comes to, like, console-exclusive content, I don't understand what the point is. And like you said, like, in a way, it's kind of similar to the things we've seen in the past with Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
but even then, like, they're still timed exclusives. And that's also, like, survival mode is this side mode that most people aren't going to play. You know what I mean? Like, I played it once or twice when the game first launched, and that was it. But, like, this is an entire hero who is the most popular Marvel character, who is going to be, like... I mean, the game is all about picking which hero you want to be your main, and leveling them up, unlocking the skills that suit your builds, and all this stuff. Like, it's a very hero-based game. It's very much about picking the hero you want to run with, and running with that hero in the end game. No pun intended, because of Avengers. But, like... But, and then to lock that out from 2/3 of the player base, like, that sucks, man.
It sucks, but, I mean... I just feel like PlayStation's getting their retribution on Xbox, because Xbox did that years ago. I remember it all, from exclusivity to exclusive DLC to exclusive content for 6 months. So, I mean, for me, it's really nothing. It really sucks, but I feel like it's not going to be permanent. I can't see that being permanent.
I think it's going to be permanent.
Hero. Yeah, if it's permanent, then, I mean, that just sucks, but that's how business goes. I mean, maybe Microsoft should have tried the level, or maybe the company should have sold the right. I mean, the company's at fault at the end, because they're the ones that accepted the money. It's not all Sony, you know?
Yeah.
There's two people in tango here, so it's not
Yeah.
just Sony. They accepted that money. They're like, yo, give me that money. Yeah, around my back pocket. Yeah, here's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I think it's funny how it's only one character. I'd love to know the deal they had for that, because I have a feeling there's a shit ton of money on the table just for
I mean,
one
it's
character.
Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man. So I mean, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So like, I do wonder. I really do wonder what's going to happen now with Miles Morales and the next game. I feel like Sony is now going to be the Marvel dealer, just like Call of Duty has Sony.
Well,
I
it's
feel like
not.
Sony can take it, possibly.
I doubt it, because Marvel and Disney in the end is gonna want. I mean, other than the. I honestly have this feeling that like the even the reason that Spider-Man on PS4 even happened, and like the stuff that continues to happen with Spider-Man and PlayStation, I feel like, and this is obviously just speculation, but I feel like this might have something to do with Sony like blackmailing Disney about the film rights to Spider-Man. Because Sony still owns the film rights to Spider-Man, and we know like a couple years ago they had a falling out, and Spider-Man was going to be pulled from the MCU and all that, and they eventually came back together and you know, regrouped and came to another deal. But I have a feeling that it might be something where Sony's probably like, hey, you know, we want Spider-Man in Avengers, like Spider-Man exclusively in Avengers on PlayStation. Here's some money, but also like, you know, if you accept, you know, maybe we could add another 2 movies to that Marvel Studios deal. You know what I mean? Like, I have a sick feeling that that's probably has something to do with it at this point. Is the film rights to Spider-Man?
I just think it's funny because Disney's really not innocent when you think about it. Like,
Oh no, definitely not.
Disney is buying out. They've been buying out everything that people love anyway. So really, at this point, I think it just is like it's a form of justice, but at the same time, someone has to get hurt, and unfortunately, it's the player base. I mean,
Yeah.
it sucks that Spider-Man is the casualty here, but I mean, Disney would easily do the same damn thing to everyone else. So it's very weird. It's very weird. Disney wants to be the Amazon of the film industry. Everyone knows it. I mean, they want to control FX. They want to buy the WWE. They want to buy this. It's just kind of funny because at one point or another, it's going to come down to Amazon and Disney, the two biggest powers in the world. I wonder if they're ever going to settle a deal. They'd be like, yo, Jeff Devos, what's up, man? I'm Mickey Mouse. I'm Mickey Mouse. So I don't know, man. It's really weird what's going on with business. It's just kind of funny how this happens in 2020. Maybe this deal was solidified before the pandemic, because that's a lot of money that they could probably use right now during the pandemic. But
well, I wonder. You'd love to know, because like
I really love to know. I really would.
Because honestly, like, I could honestly, for some reason, seeing even beyond like, you know, what I was saying earlier about Sony possibly blackmailing with the film rights, I could easily see it being something like where when the pandemic hit, and remember all those news stories coming out that like, oh, Disney is just siphoning money because all their parks are closed and stuff. I wonder if Sony's like, hey, we got some cool PlayStation money if you want to strike us a deal with Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
Because at that point, Disney's hemorrhaging like billions of dollars every week. Like, they can't afford to, you know, that couple whatever, how many millions of dollars Sony's offering for Spider-Man exclusivity for Avengers. They're like, oh yeah, we could definitely use some of that money. So I'd actually love to be a fly on the wall for something like that.
Just to see what the hell happened.
Yeah.
You know, it really does make you wonder. I feel like Sony's probably going to start controlling the market now, like Microsoft used to, like back in the day with a bunch of exclusive crap.
Well, I mean, we've been seeing that like throughout the PS4 generation, but I honestly feel like they might be doubling down even harder now.
Yep.
And like, I don't know, like, it's so hard to compare apples to apples because I don't know, like, it's weird because when you look back, Microsoft did used to do all of that when 360 was in its heyday and PS3 was, you know, flopping left and right.
Yeah.
But
that's what I'm thinking. Sony's just coming back like, yeah, you guys want all this crap?
That's why I think the question, are they anti-consumer is so, like, it's more than just a yes or no. It's a very much gray question, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's very gray. Very, very gray.
Almost as gray as it is outside because it's been raining all day.
It's kind of like that Trivium song. It's gray so dark. There
But
you go. That would be it.
yeah, but like, it's I don't know. Personally, like, even as the Sony jabroni, I would much prefer everyone be able to play as Spider-Man, because I don't know if they've confirmed it or talked about it, but Avengers would be like an amazing game for crossplay for what it's built on. You know, the huge multiplayer aspect of it outside of the campaign missions. It would be a prime suspect for crossplay. But if there's going to be an exclusive character on PS5, how does that work? Does that mean that if you're playing as Spider-Man, you can't play crossplay? Or does that mean you can play crossplay and all the Xbox and PC players are just like, oh, yeah, look, that guy's playing as Spider-Man, what a dick.
I think that's probably what's going to happen, because you could just put a compatibility update. You don't have to have the content, though. That'd be just like, it'd be like when DLC started with the WWE series around like SVR 2009, how they started putting in like Evan Bourne and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They put out that compatibility update, and people were like, whoa, he's playing as Evan Bourne. I can't have him, but you can still see him. So
Yeah.
it might just be a compatibility update. You know, they're probably just going to throw the bird to everybody while you're flying through the air. Like, hey, guys. Hey.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Yeah, that's probably going to be what a dick. Yeah, that's Ricky. What a dick.
Yeah, that's why I wonder, I can't remember. Maybe, if you know down in the comments, like, let me know or link to an article. But I don't know that if they've said anything about crossplay. But, I mean, obviously I'm sure there'll be some sort of cross progression from, like, PS4 to PS5. But I mean, like, can PS4, Xbox, and PC play together is what I'm wondering about. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
very interesting.
Like I said, it's a very gray area on, like, I don't necessarily think PlayStation's anti-consumer, but I think they're pro-money. And I think the way someone interprets that, it could be the same thing, but
It's a hard time, though, when you think about it.
I don't know. Like, it's definitely an anti-consumer move, but it's also, like, I don't know. I could be wrong, but, like, how you were saying before, like, how Xbox used to do it all the time. I feel like people didn't used to say... I feel like people didn't used to point the finger at Microsoft and say, oh, they're anti-consumer. It was just like, oh, well, they're taking the lead they have and solidifying it. You know what I mean?
I remember the exact quote as people said it back then. They go, Microsoft for the win, it is what it is. They're like, power is money. And that's exactly what they said. So now it's like, well, screw you guys. You don't have Spider-Man because power is money and it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
It's just, that's exactly what they'd say. And of course they go Xbox for the win, and Sony sucks. You know, they throw some salt in the wound, but that's kind of funny when the shoe's on the other foot. Gotta throw it out there. I think it's funny when it's for people, they're all about it, and then when it's against them, they go, well, that's not right. It's like,
yeah,
all right then. Okay, so it's a political thing. It's like, all right.
I think it's weird that, like, I think the argument of, like, the anti-consumerism thing is only popping up now because Microsoft is taking such a different approach to the next generation. So, like, I don't know. I feel like that is definitely driving that argument against PlayStation. And I'm not sure if... I wonder if Microsoft is kind of doing that on purpose to be like, hey, look, we're the, like, super, you know, pro-consumer, you know, like, play your games anywhere, Xbox Game Pass, all this stuff. Don't look at those assholes over there. That, yeah, you can only play Spider-Man over there. They have all this other bull crap going on, but, you know... You can play our games on Xbox One if you want. You can play them on PC if you want. Just get Game Pass. It's just so weird to see how that, like, Microsoft is being pro-consumer and trying something new, and PlayStation is just sticking to the thing that they've been doing for the past 4 generations. So it is very weird to see 2 competing consoles coming out doing very, very different things.
I just think Xbox is in a corner and they have to start really catering to people to get the edge back, but they're not going to. It's just kind of funny. Time went by.
I think it started out as that, like, oh, we need to start doing some things to get, to get like a bigger player base and get like an install base. And that started out as things like when they started with, backwards compatibility and all that stuff, and then when Game Pass first started, and then like eventually they doubled down on it and they were like, oh, Xbox Play Anywhere, all of our exclusives are on PC. And it's just like, oh, okay. And it's like all of our exclusives, as soon as they come out on Xbox, are out on PC. And it's like, okay, well then why do I need to buy an Xbox? And they're like, I mean, to be fair, you don't. And then they're like, okay, Game Pass on PC. And then, with the Series X, they're like, we're like, oh, all of our Series X games for the first 2 years are going to be playable on Xbox One and PC. And it's just like, okay, well, why do I need to buy the console again? Like, why do I need to buy the console?
Honestly, like, I think Xbox might just easily drop out of the whole console thing for the next generation. Because if it's going to be on PC, I mean, a lot of people are going to have a PC full on by then, as if they don't now. So they might just be like, well, screw it. I have a PC. I have better specs. I have better hardware. I could upgrade it at will. Screw you guys. I'm not buying a console. I could just see it being that way.
Honestly, it is going to be really interesting to see how it goes for Microsoft. I don't think we'll really get a good picture of it until probably maybe like a year and a half, 2 years out.
I'd say about a year and a half from now we're going to see where it does go.
But depending on how it goes for them, I could honestly see them just stop making consoles and just being a platform. Like, that Xbox would turn into just Xbox Game Pass, and it would just be like a service on PC or like a service on the PlayStation or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be another app almost. And they would still make Xbox Game Studios games like Forza and Halo and stuff. But I don't know, man. Like, I could really see them going that route if things work out for them. But as far as I know, like, Xbox Game Pass isn't even profitable right now. Like, they're basically losing money on it. So I really don't know how this is going to work out for them.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, I know Sony was doing some stuff with Mac, so maybe that's the future for maybe a computer a computer counterpart to Sony would be Mac. I know they've been doing a lot of that shit, so that's going to be interesting because I love Mac. Obviously, I'm an artist, so I'm an Apple guy, but yeah, I do wonder what could possibly happen. I think a year and a half, we'll see what happens with Microsoft, but yeah, they are losing money. But then again, Bill Gates is about to buy TikTok, so which is a stupid topic in itself, which is utterly pointless. But he's probably gonna go buy TikTok for God knows how much money. So I mean, I don't know, man. Microsoft could easily fold off the crap they're trying to asset. I mean, if they keep buying,
Microsoft is never gonna fold just because of Windows. Like, they make hand over fist money on Windows.
Yeah, so like if anything, they might fall because of their own financial problems if they make choices.
I could see Xbox, like I said, I could see Xbox as a division going over to just making games and just being like Xbox Game Pass. But I mean, that would be a long ways away because they have like basically the blessing of the hundreds of billions of dollars from Microsoft to just keep to just keep going and doing whatever they feel they need to do. And that's something that I think helps, or that probably led Microsoft to being like, hey, like, we kind of have, like, for all intents and purposes, an unlimited amount of money to just do whatever we want. So I think that's probably what led them into doubling down on this, like, super, like, we don't care if... No, yeah, go ahead.
That's why I'm amazed they didn't buy Spider-Man. I'm amazed. They really... I just find it stupid that maybe they just weren't interested. I mean, like, I just think it's funny how they're letting Sony get all this stuff, and they're just like, oh, all right, that's cool. Call of Duty exclusivity, Spider-Man. Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's such a weird conversation. Like, it's... Clearly, I guess Microsoft figures that they would rather focus that money into like doing services like Game Pass and xCloud and and all that other stuff, and like making their own first-party studio games than shelling it out to third-party exclusivity. Which, I mean, it's not like they don't do it, because they did do it semi-recently, like when they did that Rise of the Tomb Raider thing. That was in, what, 2015, I think?
I think that really wasn't even a big thing at all, though.
I mean, it was 1 year timed exclusivity for Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Tomb Raider's not a serious threat, though. Tomb Raider's just passing the time. I mean, really? Is it anything near the original? No. Like, everyone's just like, it's an Uncharted knockoff.
No, but it's... I'm not saying it moved the needle for Microsoft, but I know a lot of people were pissed about it.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, that didn't do shit for Microsoft. I don't even know why they did that. I really don't. Even my friends on Xbox were like, wow, what a waste of money. I'm like, yep. Tomb Raider. Woo! Nostalgia that bombed. Yeah. Give it to me now.
I mean, I wouldn't say it bombed. They were great games. Sure, they were very similar to Uncharted, but they were still great games.
Yeah, they were too similar to Uncharted, though. I never took it seriously. I couldn't. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Lara Croft being Nathan Drake. That's cool. I remember when Lara Croft used to be cool. So, yeah, I was like, whatever. I just think, Microsoft can't make good deals anymore. I really just, it doesn't seem like it. I mean,
I think if they wanted to, they could. I think they are just choosing not to.
I think that, yeah, regardless, it still looks horrible on their part. I mean, they controlled Call of Duty for so long. They had it all. And then they let go, and Call of Duty got hot again. They let go. I was like, wow, you guys let go. Damn. But
well, when did the PlayStation stuff start for Call of Duty? Was that
PlayStation started with Call of Duty? I'd say literally World of War. World of War was the first main game that people gave a shit about the exclusivity. I don't know if it happened in Call of Duty 3. I highly doubt it happened in COD 4. I don't remember.
No. I'm talking about when PlayStation started having the DLC exclusivity.
Black Ops 3. They literally took control of Call of Duty when it got hot again. When people started to give a flying fuck again. Because after that, it was like, you know, World of War and Black Ops. They were like, oh yeah, Xbox for the win. And then Black Ops 2, people were just like, whatever. And then Black Ops 3, they're like, yeah, yo, zombies is good again. And then it went forward with World War 2, and then it went right to all the other crap. Every other game that happened. Now you got Cold War. It's all Sony. It's like, wow, Microsoft.
We'll see, like, I wonder what the exclusivity type deal is going to be for Cold War, because...
I hope it's something bad for a year. That'd be hilarious. Just to shit on people. That
see,
would
like,
be funny.
I feel like we have two very different thoughts on this, because as much as it's like, sure, yeah, like, Microsoft used to do that stuff all the time, but, like, I think at this point in 2020, I feel like there's not that there's no point, but I just feel like it's such a shitty thing to do to lock someone out of, like, a zombies map for a year, you know what I mean?
I don't know, they would do that shit back then. So, I mean, I see no difference at this point. They're just playing politics. I mean, that sucks with survival mode. I mean, not that many people cared, but it was still a hit. I could see them doing a zombie map for like 6 months. I could easily see that happening. Maybe like they'll do a pre-order bonus where you get it for like 6 months on PlayStation. Could easily see it. Why? Because they can.
Dude, I don't know, man. I really hope they don't do that.
Back then, they'd be like, man, well, why does Microsoft have like exclusive crap on zombies and DLC? Because they can. Oh, all right. So it's just, I don't know. I think it's funny when something happens and it's not in their favor, then it's a problem. But when it's in their favor, they go right to people and they go, you guys don't get it for a month. You don't get it for 2 months. Oh man, I don't know. I just think it's funny, so I like to see people get triggered over that because they'd support it if it was on their console. You know, that's just political crap. You know, it all comes down to money. I mean, they don't give a fuck about what we want. Let's be real. They
Yeah.
want money. And so, if it's in their interest to sell the rights for a zombie map for 6 months, survival mode for a year,
Well, as
fuck it.
far as I know, I mean, I don't know, I don't remember the cycle on that contract, but as far as I remember, they would go and renew it every 3 years. So I don't know like when that contract's up, but I assume it's just a one. I mean, obviously, I don't fucking know business. I don't, work at either company, but I would assume it's just like one big payment for like the 3 years or whatever, and they probably kind of just settle on what it's going to be.
Yep.
But
And then
like,
every year they go to the drawing board. This year, trust me, this year there's going to be something.
oh, there
If they did
definitely
one-
is, but
If they
like,
did 1 year for survival mode, I could easily see they'll just say, "Oh, How funny would it be if they were like, "Oh, get a 4 zombie exclusive like remaster pack for 6 months on PlayStation"? I
dude,
actually they did that already.
people would fucking riot, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, they Xbox had the exclusivity on Black Ops. They got the fucking maps. What, like 4 months before anyone else did? They had knocked. I was like, wow. I think a few things happened beforehand. If you got the Hardened edition, but if not, you became exclusivity, and it was like,
No, I'm pretty
wow.
sure, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure the way that the Black Ops 1 thing worked was no matter which edition, no matter which console you were playing on, if you got the Hardened or Prestige edition, you got
Yeah,
the World at
I'm
War
talking,
maps.
I'm talking the normal edition though. You had to freaking sit there and wait for so long. Actually, to be honest
Well,
with
yeah,
you,
but that was on both consoles because then they didn't come until Moon.
until Moon, I thought Xbox had the exclusive though, so they still had that. They had Moon, and they had
Well, yeah,
they
but
had.
the zombies maps came out a month earlier on Xbox.
Oh yeah, but still they had exclusivity, so they
Well,
still
yeah,
like.
but a month is different than a 6 months or a year.
Yeah, I mean then again, I mean in the end, I really don't give a fuck. It's all money. They can do whatever they want. I mean, I already suffered through the worst of Call of Duty with Microsoft, so it's like I see Sony doing it's like whatever. I mean, I don't care about survival mode either, but I just thought it was funny how people got triggered. It's like, well, hey, if people want to play politics, I mean, they were on board before. Why be against them now? It's just,
I
it's
think that's
funny.
also just painting with too broad of a brush, though, because I'm sure not. Sure, obviously, there is always going to be that community of like, oh yeah, Xbox is on top, fuck PlayStation, but that's not indicative of every single person that plays Xbox. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, it's not. Just like it's not for us either. But people still paint it like that. So, like, hey, they want to see one side, they can see the other. Will they accept it? Probably not. But it sucks. You know, it's just business. It's not the I mean, if anyone's to blame, it's Activision
I
or
mean,
the company.
yeah, I'm definitely not saying it's only Sony's fault or that it's
Yeah,
only
it's not only
Microsoft's
Sony.
fault.
So,
It's definitely
yeah.
like, you know, if Activision wanted to, which I mean they'd be stupid to because again they're a business, it's all about money. They could say, "No, we don't want your billions of dollars. We'll just release everything at the same time." But like,
We'll do our own thing. Let's do it.
but it's like as a business, obviously you're not going to turn that down because it's like it's extra money
Yeah, it's extra money.
and I
Oh,
mean also like I feel like another part of it is like I'm sure someone at those companies runs the numbers that is like, okay, well, we're going to have the biggest player base on PlayStation anyways because I mean,
you already
like
know what's gonna happen.
PS4 has sold like 116 million units. Xbox One has sold, I think, there's not even exact numbers, but guesses are around like 58 million, I think. And sure, there's a bunch of PCs, but like Call of Duty almost never sells well on PC. I think probably Modern Warfare might have been the best selling one on PC, but now everyone's fucking hacking anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Um,
Yep.
but like, so I guess
I
there's
guess.
also like, most of our player base is gonna be on PS4 anyway, so the amount of people that will now not buy the game because of this is, not like
Right.
the number is just not enough for us to outweigh whatever the hell money Sony is paying us to
Yeah.
for this
I mean, hey,
exclusive. But like,
if you have the mass majority, I mean, the mass majority always wins. Doesn't matter if it's for right or wrong. I mean, the mass majority speaks, and in this case, money talks. And in this case, you might as well give that platform what they want. I mean, it's the platform. It's the biggest player base. Lots of money, lots of exposure. So, I mean, they could say it's selling out. I'd say it's just buying in, because it's like they're in the business to make games, make entertainment, make money, make content. So, you know, if it was like it before, see, if Microsoft didn't do this years ago, Sony wouldn't be doing this right now. I could already tell you that. And
yeah, that is probably true. Microsoft definitely set the precedent on doing shit like that.
They see before all this happened with Microsoft, they were all like, Sony wanted to be partial and be on the same plate and the same release date, same content. And Microsoft said, well, fuck you. We're going to have exclusive rights, exclusive content. We'll do what we want. Here's our money. Here's our checkbook. And that was it.
It's basically... I feel like that's always going to happen for whichever console ends up being in the lead, because it's just like flopping your big dick on the table and being like, hey, look at me.
Yeah. It's like, hey, guys, bring a ruler out because I'm fucking hung. It's just... yeah. Like, in this case, that's why whenever I hear people from Xbox bitch, I'm like, I don't want to hear it, because you did the same shit years ago, so now you pay up for it, and now you suffer. So,
yeah,
you know, eventually I have a feeling that it will go back to being partial. It's just, after Sony has their fun, like Microsoft had their fun, can they sit at the table and be like, listen, let's just end it and be fine.
That's my thing, is like, I mean, obviously, again, these deals were probably set in place a while ago, like years ago.
Oh
but
my god, yeah, probably 2-3 years ago.
I would, now that we kind of know, like, that these, like, that both consoles are taking a very different approach to the way they do things, I think that we really could come to a point where there's no need for third-party exclusive content anymore. Like, sure, there's always going to be exclusive games. That's literally the point of having one console over the other. But I don't know, man. Just
yep.
Even as a PlayStation fan who is getting the benefit of all these, you know, things, whether it be Call of Duty or Destiny or Avengers now, or there's a bunch of other games that have things like that. It's just, I don't know. I would prefer to see everything on a level playing field, but
hopefully in time it happens. It's just right now, I mean, I hate to say it to the Xbox people, but you guys created this, so here it all is. I'm not saying everyone's responsible, but your company is responsible. So, you know, if you want to play ball, you gotta stay up to the plate. That's what they're doing, unfortunately. I mean, it sucks, but that's just that's business. And
yeah.
At the end of the day, they don't give a flying fuck what we think. So it's like, they're just gonna do whatever. Hopefully, it eventually does get to a level playing field, but like, I don't know, until these deals are over, I really don't think there's any end in sight.
Yeah, because like I said, like, who knows how long these deals have been set in place for?
Yep, this deal could be for 10 years. I mean, who the fuck knows what they did? They could be like, oh, we need our revenge. Here's 10 years, right on the dollar. There you go. Every year we'll pay you. Give us something. Screw it. Exclusivity for 2 weeks. Whatever. Boom. Money.
Because I think the Avengers game, I think it might have actually gotten announced the same year that Spider-Man got announced. So that was, what, 2017?
Mm.
And obviously they could have even had this deal in place before the game even got announced, so it's possible that they could have, this deal for Spider-Man could have already been in place like 3 or 4 years ago. So, I don't know. Who knows? But before we move on from the Spider-Man topic into the next topic, which is, you know, still on the overarching topic of PlayStation possibly being anti-consumer, I wanted to say that, again, I think I have a really weird sinking feeling that this specific example with Spider-Man might have more to do with the film rights than we think. And I don't know if that's true, that's just my speculation, but I could say, or I could see Sony doing something like that for some reason.
So he's putting them in a guillotine.
Or, I mean, technically, It could... I don't want to paint Sony as the bad guy, because obviously we don't know. It could have easily been the other way around, where Disney was like, hey, Sony, what if we give you Spider-Man on this Avengers game? And maybe you play nice for someone like the films or something, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. It could have gone either way. Who knows if the film rights even play into it at all. I mean, it's different divisions of Sony and PlayStation, obviously, but I mean, I don't know. Who knows?
Exactly.
All right. So this second article, also on the PlayStation blog, is talking about, it's titled PlayStation 5, Answering Your Questions on Compatible PS4 Peripherals and Accessories. This one's by Isabel Tomatis. Apologies if I said that wrong. This one's the PlayStation VR Peripherals Marketing and Licensing at Sony Interactive Entertainment. So it starts off like this. In our June Future of Gaming digital event, we announced an array of PlayStation 5 peripherals and accessories that will be launching this holiday season. We know that many of you are also wondering if and how existing PlayStation 4 peripherals are compatible with the next gen. Today, we're happy to share a brief FAQ that will answer some of those questions. Which existing PS4 peripherals and accessories will work on PS5? Specialty peripherals, such as officially licensed racing wheels, arcade sticks, and fight sticks, will work with PS5 games and supported PS4 games. The Platinum and Gold wireless headsets, as well as third-party headsets that connect via USB or audio jack, will work on PS5. The headset companion app is not compatible with PS5. So PlayStation has a first-party headset companion app that works with the Platinum headset. It won't work on PS5, but I think they might be making a new app for the PS5 headsets. I don't know if those will be compatible, though. Both the PlayStation Move motion controllers and the PlayStation VR aim controller will work with supported PSVR games on PS5. And then the big one, the DualShock 4 wireless controller and PlayStation officially licensed third-party gamepad controllers will work only with supported PS4 games. Will DualShock 4 work with PS5 games? No. We believe that PS5 games should take advantage of the new capabilities and features we're bringing to the platform, including the features of DualSense. There's a couple other questions that don't really matter to what we're talking about. So, as you guys heard me say, the PlayStation 4 controller will not work on any PlayStation 5 game, only on backwards compatible PS4 games. So, JP, what do you think about that?
I mean, it's cool with backwards compatibility. I mean, I'm one that just looks forward. So, if it's PlayStation Now or something, that's whatever. But like, to actually put the games in, at least they're giving you that. It'd be kind of cool if it was just all around. I mean, literally PS5 is being based on the DualSense or whatever the hell it is. So why would you be able to play that with a out-of-date peripheral? So I'm thinking maybe they're just like, hey, advance, get a new controller, and try to get into this game immersively. But see, I don't know what the full-on effect of like the DualSense is going to be. But I'm assuming if they're really building it to be a big thing, it's going to be a needed peripheral for this console. So why would you be able to use something outside of it to play a new game? I mean, I don't know. At least they're actually allowing us to use a PS4 controller because they really don't have to. So at least it's for like the old games and stuff like that. Now, I do wonder if you're on PlayStation Now and you play a PS4 game, can you use a PS4 controller? I have no idea. But it's interesting to see what they're thinking of. It's just, I don't know. It seems like people just want everything to be active on every console, and they don't have to do that, and it doesn't have to be possible. They could do it, but I think they're really just looking at the dollar sign, really. Like, they just want people to upgrade and get their shit in now and not have to, like, wait. If you want to play old games, that's cool. You could BS on it. I mean, for me, I could literally play a PS3 on a PS3. I don't need to play a PS3 game on PS5 if we get down to it. So I'm not really feeling that that struggle that a lot of people might be feeling that want this backwards compatible experience. But Yeah, it sucks. I mean, maybe they should be more open, but I mean, it's their console. I mean, they can do whatever the hell they want with it. So it's definitely different. I mean, I feel for people that want to try to use their PS4 controller on the PS5, but like, if the games have DualSense, that means the developers have to not have DualSense if you're using that controller. I don't know if it's going to affect how the games are played. I don't know if it can't be done because certain developers have to agree to that. Maybe recode the game just because you don't have a PS5 controller or your friend doesn't. So I feel like it's probably more of a business move due to the developers. I don't think Sony would alone make that choice. But, it sucks. It's just, hey, if you want a PS5, you get a PS5. If you want a PS4, stay on PS4. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
I mean,
kind of strange.
I think this argument also comes down again from the fact that people are just comparing it to what Xbox is doing for this next gen, and Xbox has stated that, any Xbox One controller you have, no matter what, it's going to work on Series X, and your Series X controller will work automatically on Xbox One. But, and again, that just, again, comes down to Microsoft's strategy for the next gen. But, like, also, while I'd like to say that the PS5 isn't that much different from the PS4's controller, other than like the bells and whistles, like the the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers, that stuff. Yep. Also, like the Xbox Series X controller literally is the exact same controller, except it now has a share button, and that's it. It is the exact same controller. No changes, no haptic motors. No, it's the exact same controller with one extra button.
Well, that explains it because they're taking a laser out because they're behind. I mean, that's all I see. It's like, oh, they're behind. All right, yeah, guys, we'll just use the same controller. We'll put a share button. Not that we haven't seen that on the PlayStation 4, but we're gonna put a share button on our controller.
Xbox already had like a share functionality, but I think it was just mapped to like I think it used to just be a part of a menu button. Like I'm pretty sure on Xbox, if you just held your menu button, it would pull up like the broadcast settings, so you could take a video clip or whatever. Now they just have a dedicated share button separate from the menu, I think. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. But
yep.
But yeah, so that is I would assume the main reason why you can go cross gen like forwards and backwards with each controller, because they're the same controller. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Sony one isn't. Honestly, the Sony one looks like the PS4 with the Xbox One controller put together. It's a whole new controller.
And like, sure, the PS5 controller has all the same buttons, but when you take into effect like the haptics and
the coding and all this crap that goes into it,
and like, sure, it's like, I don't know, it's gonna be a wait and see thing to see how many games actually take advantage of that stuff. Like the haptic motors is definitely gonna be something that I could see being taken advantage of, but like, how much are they gonna take advantage of it on third-party games when they're only doing that? You know what I mean? Like, if you're developing something for Xbox, PC, and PS5, are you gonna take the time to like really go in depth with these haptic like feedback things if you're also developing the game for just regular rumble motors on the Xbox? And then obviously PCs don't vibrate, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Like, obviously first party games are gonna take advantage of that stuff, but I don't know. I kind of wish that there would be. My only real concern about this problem is like wanting to play multiplayer when the console first comes out, because not all of my, like, if I want to invite Mark over and I'm like, hey, like, I just got the PS5, do you want to come play whatever, say, like, I don't know, just I'm thinking of a multiplayer game like NBA or whatever, like, you want to come play NBA? It's like, oh yeah, great, well, never mind, we can't play together because I didn't spend an extra $70 on the new controller. I mean, for that, it's like I would literally only want to be able to use a PS4 controller for like multiplayer, like local multiplayer. And even then, like, eventually I'll get a second DualSense, but I don't know. It's mostly for local multiplayer, which I think is shitty, but like, also obviously everybody's use case is different, but like, I use local multiplayer on my console like maybe once every 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. Recently, that's not true because I've been playing Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled with my nephew like almost every day. But under normal circumstances, you know. And well, that's another thing is like, I mean, I'm gonna be keeping my PS4 anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But like, I won't be able to use like I have a here. Where is it? I have this special little mini controller for my nephew. It looks like an old SNES controller. I have this for my nephew because his hands are too small for the PS4 controller. The PS5 controller is going to be even bigger apparently, and I can't. My nephew can't use that. So I'll have to buy if that company decides to make another one for PS5. I'll have to buy that again. It's small stuff like that that sucks. Like,
Yep.
I wish I could just carry that over and be able to, you know, for my nephew to be able to play games with me, but
Yep. All comes down to that almighty dollar, you know. That's all that people care about anymore, it seems. But yeah, it just sucks. Like I'm ready for PS5. I mean, well, we were talking last night about the performance and all that on games that are on the same console, like PS4, PS5, stuff like that. But yeah, it should be interesting to see what happens. I mean, I don't know if it's anti-consumerism, but I just think right now they need to make money more than ever.
Yeah, I don't really think it's necessarily anti-consumer, but it's also like I said, overall my thoughts on this particular topic with the taking into context the two things we just talked about. I think it's one, you know, just doing more of what worked before for PlayStation. Because Sony has been basically having the same console strategy since the PlayStation 1. And I mean, Xbox is changing it up this time, but like, I can't think of a situation necessarily where you were able to, other than with what Xbox is doing now, where you would be able to flawlessly bring over your old controllers to your new console and just have them work. Like, the best example I could think of was PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2. There was, I don't even know, like, math-wise, like, you could play at least some PlayStation 2 games with a DualShock 1, but there was a lot of games that just didn't work with it, like, it just wouldn't detect the controller. So that was kind of just like I don't know if there's, like, a certain, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but I don't know if there's, like, something specific in certain games why they do that, but so even, like, the PS1 controller doesn't work on all PS2 games on the PS2. But, like, obviously you couldn't take PS2 controllers to PS3 because then you were wireless. You can't use PS3 controllers on PS4. You can't use PS4 controllers on PS5. So, I mean, it's worked for them every other console generation.
Yep.
So why change it? It's just doing more of what works. And the same thing with... Yeah. And it's the same thing with, like, with the exclusive content. It's like, well, PlayStation's been doing that pretty much all generation long, and they've sold almost 120 million PS4s or something like that. Like, I could be wrong, but I think now the PlayStation 4 is officially the second best selling home console, I think. Next behind the PlayStation 2. I think it goes PlayStation 2 in terms of home consoles. I think it goes PS2 PS2, PS4, PS1, PS3. Like, the PlayStation's consoles are all in the top 5. So, I mean, clearly, what they're doing works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, right.
So why, if it's not broken, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So why change now? You know, despite a pandemic, why change? You know, it's gonna keep going. Might as well keep going the same way it usually does.
Yeah. So home consoles, it literally goes PS2, PS4, PlayStation, Wii, PlayStation 3 are the top 5 best-selling consoles. Home consoles in that order. If you factor in handhelds, it goes PlayStation 2, Nintendo DS Family, which I don't know what that means. I don't know if that includes the 3DS or not. And then Game Boy and Game Boy Color is number 3. And then PlayStation 4 and PlayStation. So even still, even top-selling consoles ever, including handhelds, PS4 is number 4. So, clearly, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And does that mean that I agree with it? No, but, I mean, realistically, like, as much as we want to think that, like, these companies are in it for, you know, making consumers happy, it's a business at the end of the day. And do I think that's shitty? Yeah, but I mean, that's just how any business works. Like,
I know, right?
that's why you know, I always like cringed and laughed at all of the advertisements that were coming out when the pandemic first started. And it's like, we care about you and your family. Like, I heard those over the freaking PA at work every like 10 minutes, and it's like, you do not give a single shit. You just want everybody to keep coming in and, you know, buying out all the toilet paper and the hand sanitizer. I was like, you literally don't care at all. You don't even care about your employees.
I know, right? They just want to look good. Well, look good and make money. It's kind of crazy, but yep, that's how it is. That's how it goes. It's unfortunate. Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
think they're anti-consumer. It's just at the end of the day, it's business, and they have a business to run. They just want to look good and put a product out and try to stay face or save face or whatever the hell it might be, show face, you name it. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's anti-consumer, but I also don't think it's not anti-consumer. It's definitely a very gray area that they're trotting through. But it's also, again, like, I feel like it's only being painted in that light because of what Microsoft was doing. You know what I mean? Like, if Microsoft wasn't doing the things they were doing, I feel like nobody would care. They would just be like, ah, man, that sucks. Can't use my PS4 controller. All right, whatever.
Yep.
Because, like, if you think about it, like, sure, I'm saying all these things right now, like, oh, it sucks that, you know, I can't use this PS4 controller now because of my nephew. It sucks that I have this PS4 controller and another one, wherever my Spider-Man one is, that I can't use anymore. And it's just like, well, that's exactly what happened when we went from PS1 to 2 to 3 to 4. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, same
it's
thing.
happened 4 other times, and nobody really cared all that much. So it's only because of what the competition is doing now that paints it in such a bad light.
Yep. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not gonna make a difference anyway. But yeah, it's just
No, the PlayStation 5 is still going to sell a shit ton of consoles, and Sony's going to make a shit ton of money. So
yeah, no, right?
clearly, like, and the other thing is like, one thing that it's hard to remember when you're scrolling through the internet and looking at comments and stuff is the vocal. It's a phrase that I like is, you know, they're the vocal minority. The people you see commenting on the internet are the vocal minority. Like, most people that are going to go out and buy that console are people in their, like, you know, probably in their, like, 20s, like, late 20s, mid 30s maybe, that have disposable income. They don't really go on the internet and look at forums and look at Reddit and stuff. They're just like, oh, the PS5's coming out? Oh, I'll get that. Oh, I'll get Spider-Man. Like, they're not reading that their PS4 controller is not going to work. They're not going to care. They're not going to, you know, they're not going to...
Yeah, they're probably already accepting it.
Yeah, they're not going to participate in the. They're not going to, and it's like all the people that are like, oh, I'm going to boycott. You know, I'm going to boycott Avengers. I'm going to boycott PS5, and it's like the like maybe like 20 people that. And first of all, most people that say that in the internet comments still don't even. They say that just for likes and upvotes or whatever, and then they still end up getting it anyways. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, they're all absolute hypocrites practically in their own way, and it's happened every console generation. Does anyone care? No, because at the end of the day, they still sold the copies. They still sold the consoles.
Yep.
No one cares about those people that talked shit back in 2005. I can tell you that. They might have looked cool when they said it. Does anyone care now? No.
And like,
beat somewhere, so it's like,
yeah.
You know, it's crazy. They think their opinion fully matters, and at the end of the day, they're just a random number. That's all they are. The Sony or Microsoft, you know, because you said it yourself. They even buy the damn consoles, so they just feed into their own hypocrisy. It's like, it's whatever. You know, it's crazy, man.
Well, another thing that I wanted to mention this actually before we got off the topic of Spider-Man was clearly, like, this vocal minority thing is really just a minority of the small potential player base of the audience. And I say potential because I feel like a large majority of people that get outraged by stuff like this are people that either weren't planning on playing the game anyways. You know what I mean?
Yep, probably. They're just looking to make noise, you know.
And that has to do with, like, I think that has a lot to do with, like, today's, like, social media and how social media works nowadays and cancel culture and all that shit. But, like, another thing is, like, I remember seeing on Reddit when that news was posted, and there was a bunch of comments like, oh, I fucking hate this, like, even as a PlayStation player, I'm canceling my pre-order, whatever. And then it came out, like, yesterday, I think, that since they announced that on Monday, they saw, PlayStation saw a huge uptick in PlayStation pre-orders for Marvel Spider-Man. So again, clearly it's working. Clearly what they're doing is working. They are making the money that they want to make off of this. They are seeing a return on their investment to make Spider-Man exclusive to Avengers.
Yep.
And again, clearly, like, the silent majority of people that, you know, aren't on social media all the time, aren't reading these articles, aren't reading these comments, aren't posting on these comments. They're going to go out, they were going to buy it on PS4 anyways because most people have a PS4. You know? And they're just going to be like, oh, Spider-Man's coming to the game, that's cool. Or, like, it's the same thing with, like, when things were really heating up with loot boxes, what was that, last year, or was it 2018, when things were getting really bad, it was like, oh, we need to speak with our wallets and boycott against them, and it's like, that's not gonna work, because the minority of people that are posting this on social media that would boycott things are gonna be far outweighed by the people in their mid-30s that get off work and hop on Warzone with the boys, and they're like, oh, this new Ghost skin looks great. I'll drop $20 on this new Ghost skin. That's cool. Because they don't care.
Like, because who cares? They're making money. People have money to throw at them. Fuck it. No opinion's valid, really, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Who's gonna spend money on this? It's like, all right, I can think of a shit ton of people that'll drop money willingly, not even thinking, just on a Ghost skin, let alone a game. I mean, yeah, $20 on a Ghost skin, yeah, it goes good. Yeah.
Or it's like,
yeah.
I was actually, well, this gets way off topic, so I won't even start talking about it, but but yeah. So basically, what I'm saying is that I don't think it's anti-consumer. I don't think it's not anti-consumer either. It's definitely a gray area that they're kind of skating through right now, but like I said, it's also what they've been doing for the past 4 console generations, and it's worked for them. And I think the outrage from it is just because of what Microsoft's doing. If Microsoft wasn't doing that, no one would care. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, again, just another way of each console manufacturer kind of showing of, like, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing. They're 2 very different approaches, you know, but we're still kind of also competing. Like, we're still in the same market competing. It's just one has this very different approach, this very new approach, and then one is doing the traditional approach that's worked for the past 25 years. So,
I know, right?
It'll definitely be interesting to see how it shakes out. Like I said, we won't really have a good idea on how it, shakes out for a little while yet, for like probably another year and a half, maybe even 2 years.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens for sure, man. Definitely will be interesting. I'm just ready for PS5. I'm definitely going to get it. I just got to figure out how the hell it means I'm going to do it, but I could easily afford it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go through Best Buy. I don't know if I don't know who the hell I'm going to get it from. I personally, if Call of Duty has a model, I would buy it. I would like to see that unveiled.
I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they. Yeah, not pretty historically. Like, consoles don't have like a special edition when it comes out like that. You're probably gonna be waiting like a year or 2. I want to say, I'm trying to think what the first like PS4 special edition model was.
World War II had it at launch.
Well, yeah, that was. Well, yeah, but World War II came out in like 2017. Well, that was also 2 years after the console came out.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering. Ghost didn't have it.
No. Well, Ghost was a launch thing.
Sure as hell the next...
I think the first one might have been September 2014 with Destiny. It came with a white PS4. There's probably a list somewhere that I could look it up, but I'm like 95% sure that that's what it is.
I'm kind of hoping that COD has one this year because they have
Special
enough time to put a custom
editions.
design and people want it and people are talking about it already. So it'd be cool if they did. I'd buy it. I'd buy it, seeing how the game's probably gonna come out beforehand on PS4 and then on PS5. So that'd be kind of cool. I'd like to.
No,
I'm gonna call.
they almost never do special edition consoles on launch day because it's just too many SKUs to worry about, and let alone the fact that they're already technically launching two because they have the digital and not digital edition. But let's see. Kingdom Hearts 3, the 500 million, 20th anniversary, Spider-Man, Days of Play, Star Wars Battlefront, Monster Hunter, Metal Gear Solid 5, Destiny. Call of Duty. Okay, these don't have any release dates on them, so this doesn't really help me. And now I'm getting a phone call. Okay. Well, I would say with confidence that we probably won't see any special edition consoles till probably at least like 6 months after launch. I could be wrong, but that's probably what I would say. Because I'm not 100% sure, but I'm almost certain that the first special edition was Destiny in September of 2014. So like 10 months after launch.
Well, looks like I'm getting on PS5. I'm still getting it regardless, but it'd be just cool if COD happened. I think that'd be
They
dope.
might, see, I don't know, they might release, like, not necessarily a special edition, but they might release, like, an all-black PS5 at some point before their first special edition, maybe, but, because I think they might have done that with PS5 as well, or PS4 as well, I don't remember, but.
Oh, yeah.
But, I don't know, who knows.
Should be interesting, you know.
Either way, I'll get the white one at launch, and then maybe once Spider-Man 2 comes out, if they do a Spider-Man 2 special edition, I might get it, but we'll see. This gets too far off topic, but apparently there's rumors going around that the faceplates might actually be swappable on PS5, so you might just be able to buy, like, just the faceplate and not a whole new console, which I would be super happy about. But
that'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be totally dope. I'd be down for that.
But that's not the topic for today's video. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Pizza and Pixels. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments down below. But otherwise, guys, this has been Pizza and Pixels, the show where JP and I order a pizza and talk about video games until that pizza shows up. And it goes live every Saturday on youtube.com/HexxedPhenom or on podcast services around the globe. And, guys, until next time, another one bites the crust.